Attention passionate Toronto, Maple Leafs. Latest news, something big is happening in the Atlantic Division and it could shake up the entire conference. We're talking about a direct impact on Toronto Maple Leafs' path to another Stanley Cup run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Toronto Maple Leafs fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOURFRINDS and Toronto Maple LEAFSFANS. Let's get to the news, all right, folks. Today we have some truly exciting news that's been setting the hockey world on fire. The Toronto Maple Leafs, a franchise known for its passionate fan base, its historic quest for the Stanley Cup, and its constant quest to build a roster that can finally bring the trophy home, are once again at the center of intense speculation. And no, it's not just about who's scoring or what the standings look like after a few games. This time, it's about a potential blockbuster move that could change the landscape of the entire league, especially within the Atlantic Division. The team is reportedly considering a significant trade involving a player named Schwartz. And let me tell you, this is one of those rumors that could really turn into reality, and if it does, it might alter the course for Toronto's ambitions this season and well beyond. Now, before we dive into all the details, I want to make sure you're all tuned in and ready because this story has a lot of layers. The Maple Leafs, as many of you know, are in a bit of a transitional phase. They've been building this squad for years now, trying to find that perfect mix of veteran experience and youthful energy. They've come close, but that elusive Stanley Cup has remained just out of reach. So when rumors of a potential trade involving Schwartz start circulating, you can bet the fan base is going to be buzzing. Schwartz, a player with a solid reputation for his skill and leadership, has attracted interest from several teams across the league. But Toronto, always looking to strengthen its core, appears to be weighing the options carefully, evaluating whether adding him could be the missing piece that pushes them over the top. What exactly do we know about this proposal? Well, the details are still somewhat under wraps, but what's clear is that the Maple Leafs are exploring a trade that could involve some key assets. The talks are described as intriguing, which in hockey parlance means there's a lot of potential, but also plenty of questions. For instance, how would Schwartz fit into the team's system? Would he enhance the team's offensive production or perhaps bring a new layer of defensive reliability? More importantly, what about his chemistry with existing players and his role in the locker room? These are critical considerations because building a winning team isn't just about raw talent, it's about chemistry, leadership, and the right fit. Schwartz is a player who has proven his worth in the league. He's got experience, and he's been known for his clutch performances and leadership qualities. That's exactly the kind of veteran presence that a team like Toronto often seeks during their playoff push. His ability to contribute not just offensively, but also to stabilize the game when it matters most could be a game changer. But of course, any trade deal involves weighing the risks and rewards. The Maple Leafs management is taking a cautious, strategic approach, analyzing how Schwartz's skills complement the rest of the roster, especially with the playoffs looming. They're also considering the long-term implications, how this move could impact team chemistry, salary cap considerations, and future flexibility. Now, for a bit of context on the current state of the Maple Leafs, they're coming into this season with high expectations. After a few years of playoff heartbreaks, they're hungry for success. The core of the team, featuring stars like Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, William Nylander, and Morgan Rielly, has been fantastic. But many fans and analysts alike feel that some additional depth or leadership could really push them over the edge. Adding a player like Schwartz, with his experience and leadership qualities, could provide that extra boost, especially in high-pressure playoff situations where every shift counts and mental toughness is crucial. The team's recent performances have been promising, but consistency remains an issue. They've shown flashes of brilliance, but also moments where they've struggled against top-tier opponents. That's why management is so focused on making strategic moves, trying to fill in the gaps, whether it's on defense, in scoring depth, or in leadership. The whispers about Schwartz are part of that larger puzzle, a move that could potentially tip the scales in their favor. And let's not forget, this isn't happening in a vacuum. Other teams are also making bold moves, and the league as a whole is more competitive than ever. The Maple Leafs know they can't afford to sit still if they want to contend for the Stanley Cup. Now, thinking about the broader picture, a trade involving Schwartz could also send ripples through the Atlantic Division. Imagine a team like Boston or Tampa Bay, both of whom are perennial contenders, seeing Toronto strengthen its roster just as they are gearing up for their own playoff runs. It's a chess game and every move matters. The Leafs have a history of making bold decisions, and if they pull the trigger on this deal, it will demonstrate their commitment to winning now. It's about building a roster that can not only make noise in the regular season, but also excel in the postseason. That's the ultimate goal, after all, bringing that Stanley Cup back to Toronto. What's really fascinating is how this fits into the team's larger strategy. The Maple Leafs front office has always been keen on balancing star power with depth, and they've shown a willingness to make tough decisions. This potential deal with Schwartz could be a part of that puzzle, possibly involving some younger prospects or draft picks going the other way, or maybe a veteran player leaving to open up cap space. The negotiations are still in the early stages, but the fact that the team is even considering such a move speaks volumes about their ambitions. They're not just content with being good, they want to be great, and in this league, sometimes a single trade can define the entire season. Of course, fans are naturally eager to know more. Will Schwartz become a Maple Leaf? How soon could this happen? What exactly are the terms being discussed? These are questions that only time will answer. But what's clear is that the organization is actively exploring options, and that's always a good sign for fans who crave that extra edge. The excitement surrounding this potential trade is palpable, and it's a testament to how much the team's future is on the line this season. Every game, every decision, every move could make the difference between a deep playoff run or an early exit. And as always, the hockey community is buzzing with predictions, debates, and opinions. Some analysts believe this move could propel Toronto into the upper echelon of contenders, while others caution that trading assets always carries risks. Still, the general consensus is that the team is doing everything necessary to maximize their chances. And for all of us passionate fans, that's what matters most, seeing our team fight tooth and nail, make bold moves, and chase that elusive championship with everything they've got. So as we wait for more updates, I want to remind you all to stay tuned, because this story is far from over. You can bet that as soon as there's concrete news, we'll be here breaking it down in detail. The Maple Leafs are at a crossroads, and whatever happens next could define their season and perhaps their legacy in the league for years to come. We've seen incredible comebacks, heartbreaking losses, and moments of pure brilliance from this team, and I truly believe that this potential trade involving Schwartz could be one of those pivotal moments. The future of the Maple Leafs is being shaped right now, and it's an exciting time to be a fan. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Toronto Maple Leafs news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, it's clear that the team's management is deeply invested in this process. They're analyzing every detail, weighing the pros and cons, and trying to gauge how Schwartz's arrival could boost their chances. His experience, leadership, and skill set are highly valued in this league, and if the deal goes through, it could be a major catalyst for the team's playoff push. But beyond the X's and O's, it's also about the message this sends to the locker room. It shows that the organization is committed to winning, that they're willing to make bold moves, and that they believe this core can finally bring the cup home. And for those of you watching who have followed the Maple Leafs for years, you know how much history there is behind this franchise. From the legendary players of the past to the loyal fans who have endured decades of ups and downs, the team's quest for glory is somehow woven into the fabric of Toronto itself. Every season feels like a new chapter, and right now, with this potential trade, we might be on the verge of a new era. It's these moments that keep us all on the edge of our seats, eagerly awaiting the next development, the next game-winning goal, or the next strategic move that could change everything. In conclusion, the Toronto Maple Leafs are once again at a pivotal point. The whispers about Schwartz in this potential trade are more than just rumors. They're a sign of the team's ambition, their hunger for success, and their willingness to do whatever it takes to finally reach hockey's highest summit. Whether this deal materializes or not, one thing is certain: the excitement, the debate, and the passion among fans are at an all-time high. We're witnessing a team that's not just playing for the present but building for a future that could bring the Stanley Cup back to Toronto after too many long years of waiting. And now, Toronto Maple Leafs fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Toronto Maple Leafs news. This season could be one of the most exciting yet, and with moves like these on the horizon, it's clear that the team is aiming high. Thanks for being part of this journey, and as always, let's keep the passion alive. Go Leafs, go!